Welcome, everyone. I am Leah Shortino of Junction. As you know by now, Junction is a public venue in Bangkok focusing on Southeast Asia. We have done this series of updates since the coup. Now it's almost 5.5 years, and the situation is becoming quite complex, more and more complex, with now an so-called elected government trying to get legitimacy. And what it implies for Myanmar and the region, we have here Tausalat, who is, as you know, is the second time we are hosting Tausalat for a series of at least 6 episodes. And he is a journalist, now also secretary of the Myanmar press. He will tell us more about his official function as well as the key issues that have been occurring in Myanmar in the last month. We are very glad to have you back and enjoy your expertise. We look forward to listen to you. We also want to thank Mizzima and The Irrawaddy because they are cross-posting our broadcast, and this helps us to reach a much larger public. Thank you very much. Maybe as usual, Tusalat will give about 20 minutes, 30 minutes of presentation, and then after that we will have question and answer.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Like you mentioned, complex is one of the key issues. And also another key issue is about changing from, absolute military totalitarian to a kind of civilian clothes. I mean, does it mean any changes, So I doubt it. Still the change. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, you can start.
Yeah. So is it really change happening in Myanmar? What changed? I mean, after the military uniform to civilian Longji, I don't see very much change. But there is so-called 100 days of the new civilian government. I mean, at least they are President Main Online from the Senior General Main Online. 100 days. So I will start with the 3 issues about, one is about Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, which happened, and one on ASEAN engagement on Myanmar, and one on May 3 World Press Freedom Day. How's the press freedom of expression going on? Start with Daw Aung San Suu Kyi. This first ever picture since she got arrested, on 1st February 2021, 5 years ago, this picture came out on very end of April and early May. A lot of discussion, is it the real picture or is it AI? Because the people don't see that. And also, I mean, when it's come to Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, there is complete blackout. So whenever you see Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, it's always embedded with misinformation or, a kind of rumor and a kind of psychological warfare, what's happened. So a lot of public's debate, is it the real picture? But later we found out it was a real picture, and State TV announced that they were moving from Daw Aung San Suu Kyi from prison to the house arrest. So far, nobody knows. As you know, she is charging with various, draconian law and sentenced to 33 years. And there were 2 amnesty, one in April, but they said they are reducing her sentence. But I mean, it doesn't mean anything. She is 80s, and even she got reduced sentence, she will be 100 years in house arrest or prison. For me, I mean, does it really matter any condition change? But she did stay prisoner, and also the hostage diplomacy. I use this term because whenever diplomat come, like Thai Foreign Minister Sira said, next slide, please. Sira came in. He said the Thai Foreign Minister, when the Myanmar Army announced that she is put under house arrest, he said it is he said that it is because of his engagement. So a kind of keeping Daw Aung San Suu Kyi as a hostage and for the diplomatic purpose. Same to so whoever get the chance to see that, they said things are getting improved. So that's why the hostage diplomacy, in international arena, That is what happened with her. And for the latest information, we know that she is put under house arrest in one of the former ministry housing. So, but nobody got access, and these are the only speculation, but only confirmed sources that she is no longer in prison. But that's been a long time. But now she is under house arrest. Can I have a next slide, please? Yes. Then this is the cartoon reflect, and there was because of Chinese also one of the key diplomat asking question about Aung San Suu Kyi and allow her access. So I think this cartoonist also may online saying that okay, we are relaxing on Aung San Suu Kyi condition, but stay the same. Okay, and also that's lead to Aung San Suu Kyi send Michael Harris, Kim Harris to do the kind of proof of life campaign that nobody really knows she is stay alive or not. There is a kind of prison visit once in 2 weeks that some supply to Aung San Suu Kyi going to drop at the police station, and then army will pick up. That's all. That's 5 years, the same thing. Nobody really get access, and also the same. Even Hassan has no. That's why there is a campaign that they should have more solid approve that she is stay alive. That's why when it's come to Aung San Suu Kyi, I mean, she is nowhere near knowing what is going on. And again, Thai foreign minister, came and recently Malaysia foreign minister, they all raised concern. I mean, so for me, I mean, she is 80 years old. And I think why they keep, logging her. If me online, the secular, he is a civilian president. I think immediate urgent action should be, release her or give access to her. What are they afraid of? We don't really know. But until now, army is effectively, seriously using Aung San Suu Kyi as a hostage diplomacy. Whenever there is pressure, they do some kind of reluctant or some kind of cosmetic show that they are doing something better for Aung San Suu Kyi, and then international diplomacy say, okay, this is the her condition. So I think we are very concerned. And then recent, her lawyer team trying to get access to that, and they got rejected. So far, that's all we know. And also there is one of the speculation that Chinese diplomat got access to her. Nobody can confirm, but there is a widely speculated that Aung San Suu Kyi was allowed to meet a Chinese foreign minister, or before that, there was a Chinese diplomat came into presidential inauguration, and these are all speculation and rumor, and there is no proper confirmation. But that is the latest condition, and nobody really know where she is. But we knew that our source says that she was arrested, house arrest, put in house arrest in one of the ministry, former minister compound, namely Ucho Tensui, one of her very close aide, Minister for International Affairs, in his house. But we cannot verify all these claims. So that the Aung San Suu Kyi question will remain. Next slide, please. And also, this link to ASEAN too. There was a recent ASEAN in Philippines, Cebu, known as a current chair, and they stick with the 5-point consensus. Myanmar military was not, the high-ranking politicians are not invited. They stay excluded because of failure to implement 5-point consensus. One key point is release political prisoner, and then all inclusive dialogue. It's still not happen. And then there is Thailand. Mr. Sira is a Thailand foreign minister. He became a broker. Can you go back? Next one. The previous, yeah. And he was saying that what originally Thailand want to invite Myanmar foreign minister. Now it changed, and a new civilian government no longer U Tan Sui. Tan Sui used to be American ambassador. Then he was the foreign minister. Now is a former Chinese ambassador. Now is a Myanmar foreign minister. So that one got rejected, but they were saying that there will be proper online foreign minister meeting. That is what is going on. And also the Thailand introduced new engagement called gradual calibrated re-engagement. This is the Thai Foreign Minister, Mr. Sirajat, and it is saying that gradually Myanmar need to bring back to the ASEAN, but the other member also argue that they haven't do. I mean, how can you bring the Myanmar military back to ASEAN 4? There is daily bombing, airstrike, killing, military operation going on, 60 township under martial law. So we should not get crowded to do it because they're not doing enough, or basically saying that nothing is improved apart from changing military uniform to civilian clothes. So that is an ongoing debate. But there is a lot of speculation that linked to Aung San Suu Kyi. She may get a little bit of better condition and Singapore. After Philippines, it's almost only a few months left, 6 months or so. And then there will be Singapore and then Thailand. Thailand will play one of the key. After this, East Timor. That is also very interesting. East Timor, there is East Timor accepts the war crime case, court case in their jurisdiction. That's why Myanmar military kick out East Timorese. But at the moment, Myanmar newly Honda in civilian clothes trying very hard to get back into ASEAN. So they were saying that ASEAN members are discriminating. That's very interesting. Also, they are sending the Deputy Minister Joko to the Philippines recently, and another one Permanent Secretary to Indonesia. So they're very busy. Those, within ASEAN, those like Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. I mean, they try to engage a lot of diplomatic engagement. Again, then they raise main concern about Aung San Suu Kyi and political prisoner, unless there is significant improvement on political prisoner. I mean, Aung San Suu Kyi is one of the world famous political prisoner. Unless I mean, they will measure whether political prisoner issue better or not. A lot depend on Aung San Suu Kyi too. I think so. Hostage diplomacy is not enough. Myanmar government need a lot more to do to get back into the ASEAN grouping. Also, at the moment, I mean, Mainline, he personally charged ASEAN not discrimination. So this is the current situation. So I think the rest of this year, there will be a lot busy about Myanmar and ASEAN issues. Within ASEAN, there is two splits. And like Thailand want to be broker, bring back Myanmar, and Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, East Timor, they're saying that they need to improve 5-point consensus. But like on the other hand, and like Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Brunei we don't really count. They're not very active. They were saying that we should bring back. So there is ASEAN itself is complete divide, and also again there is a recent. Yesterday it was a Malaysia foreign minister visited Myanmar. Out of blues, I got information he was there with the private jets. Next slide, please. Living only 3 hours and 2-hour meeting. This is the Malaysia Muhammad Hassan, and then he made a kind of we were chasing his information because the first rumor said he may allow to meet Aung San Suu Kyi. So we were chasing and nobody know. Even I asked all the Malaysia journalist friends, they didn't know. It is they arrived 12 noon in Naypyidaw and then left 3 p.m. 3 hours. And so after that, he made the interview with one of the media saying that they want to extend Myanmar's so-called ceasefire for 100 days of the new president-led region government, civilian government. So they said they want to extend this ceasefire beyond these 100 days. So the key question is that Myanmar and a ceasefire? I don't think so. Or they are saying there is a 3 key 100 days plan. One is about diplomacy, mainline. Myanmar general want to get back into ASEAN, and other international diplomacy and legitimacy. And then another one is regain control. That's why there is ongoing severe military operation going on. And then that is about peace talk. So all those who already signed agreement with peace talk, they are start initiating. And also, I mean, they are those not signed peace agreement, also they were invited. This is within 100 days. That were ending 31st July. So since 30th April, it is a mainline swing in as a civilian president. So this is the measure. But then the same question raised, is there actually any real meaningful ceasefire undertaken? So a lot of alternate and resistance fighters rejecting this claim of 100 days peace plan or ceasefire. And so I think also we're not sure about the Malaysia intention. Is that Malaysia as an individual country or Malaysian foreign minister representing the ASEAN? Because recent Philippine Cebu, they give assignment to all ASEAN foreign minister for the potential re-engagement with Myanmar. So this is ongoing issue. So there will be a lot of contested engagement as an individual country or as a ASEAN as a grouping. So this is what we also will be keeping an eye on this specific development. Next slide, please. So, but I think, and this is the very reflecting the both, ASEAN and China or Myanmar. So the Myanmar Honda, I think the cages represent Aung San Suu Kyi at the ASEAN door, again playing to Aung San Suu Kyi. And another cartoon is about the peace plan. Actually, Chinese openly said this is part of their D, first election and then peace and reconciliation in Myanmar. That's all supported after sham election finished. First Chinese press saying that this is part of their engagement, the package, election first and then return to normalizing peace and reconciliation process. So this is all about Myanmar is not only Myanmar domestic political affair. So that is very big, and regional ASEAN as a group, and then China play a lot of Myanmar domestic politics. That also impact a lot of what we do. All right, this is about me. And then my last presentation next week, that will be the May 3, the recent War Press Freedom Day. It was, May 3, we were celebrating Indonesian War Press Freedom Day. And Myanmar is ranked 166 out of 180 and stay one of the very serious conditions. So, it is in the next slides. And so I think they stay, also as a journalist, this is one of the depressing moment because this press freedom index within 25 years, it is one of the lowest, globally. So Myanmar is not alone. And also UNESCO make the statement that in 2024, there are 61 active armed conflict all over the world. In the past, it is Myanmar, Ukraine or Gaza, but now 61, country globally in active armed conflict. And also one of the lowest in 25 years of the press freedom index, and no wonder Myanmar is ranked 166, one of the serious press freedom breach. And so far, we know there are 18 journalists behind bar. And by the way, there are 200 civilians got arrested during election period, 3 months. There is a very draconian law, election preventing protection law. You cannot criticize election. So there were 200 people go to jail just because they either criticize or just giving the kind of reaction emoji about somebody comment on their Facebook. So that was a latest reports, And also before the army changed uniform to civilian, they put 3 key law. One is about cybercrime law. So I think if you look at Myanmar digital rights, one of the wars violation, according to the any research indicate that the digital right is really breached. And then on top of that, there is a digital cyber law they in place. And then second one is about there is another committee chair by I think the Ministry of Interior. It's called Disinformation, Misinformation Watch Committee on cyberspace. And then right before the election, there is a latest law called what is the information sheet and countering media. That one is a very serious because it's under the Ministry of Defense. Deputy Defense Minister will oversee that committee. So by law, before Mail Online changed uniform to civilian clothes, they deliberately put media law as a national security and then another army. And also there is a recently military operation going on in 60 townships and martial law. And then there are 23 court cases where he handled by the army military courts. 2 cases is about media cases. So the media case or media law or media argument court case will be overseen by the military courts in those 60 township under martial law. So I think, I mean, as a journalist, we got a lot of question like, are you guys going to engage or are you going back like things in government 5 years in 2012? That's how, I mean, after 2010 election, things in government invite all the media, mainly exam media, saying that you can freely work in Myanmar. So there are a lot of questions within the donors community, diplomat community, and then journalist community, whether it's a time to engage, like things in government, previous, transition from military government to civilian government. Now the same vicious cycle come in and we have to face a lot this question. But for me, I think there is nothing to engage, nothing improve. Only, the army uniform to Longji president, very cosmetic, and everybody know election is sham. We can approve everything. So post-election, this 100 days is the current Main Online project, and they July 31st, though they were doing these 3 main, so-called peace and reconciliation domestically, and also internationally, diplomatically, they want to come back to ASEAN and also engage with other countries in the region. So far, there is only China, Russia, and Belarus recognize this recent election and then so-called civilian government. So for media, I mean, I want to conclude that one. It is too early to say that. I mean, there is no way that, I mean, with this, draconian law and also there is, I mean, media as a security threat, another Ministry of Defense going to handle media cases, and also the martial law court case where handle the media cases if there is some disputes. So I don't think, it is not a time to engage Myanmar. That's all my presentation, and I will welcome any, question, comment like you share. So back to you, Leah.
Okay, thank you very much for this very comprehensive overview. And indeed, I fully agree with you that it's not time to engage with Myanmar, as also they be called the scam election. And we know that this is just a play to get legitimacy. But let's continue with other questions. We have received 3 questions, very different from what you have. One is related, the other 2 are different. The first one is about the conscription. It seems that is intensifying. We have seen some statement in the media. Can you tell us more? So this is the first question. And the second, which is quite extensive, could you update us on the ground situation in Rakhine, Kachin, and Sagaing? So 3 places. And the one who posed the question is saying that she has heard that the military is doing offensive attacks and regaining ground in a number of places. So maybe we stop with these 2 questions first, and then we go back to the freedom of speech, because that is a related question. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Leah. I mean, first about conscription, there is already 22 batch. Each batch consists of 5,000 Yanman. whether willingly or by force, mainly by force. So far, we know that that is one of the army can link to second question about operation. So because of this, both moral and also, a lot of, maybe people, support to army this lowest level that I know of in entire Myanmar army history or something, and then people did not join it. That's why. So at least they actively recruit more than 100,000, 110,000 active conscripted young people. Now batch 22, they didn't get enough people. That's why they force in. Wherever they grab, mainly by force, Porta, and if you go to Yangon, Yangon become a ghost town. That is the reason recently they want to promote there is a new civilian government, and then nobody dare to go out nighttime because of conscription. And so they make their kind of very funny 6:30 night run, saying that Yangon is normalized, and a lot of people go in without proper what is it, plan, and they were very chaos. People were trying to rush home to avoid night time because of forced conscription, arresting everybody's. So this is the stage. And also another one of the military analysis. This linked to second question of the mainly in Rakhine. Rakhine has 70 township, 40 under A, and now they challenge another 3 and Sitre. Stay. That's spray over. Not only in Rakhine, there is a heavy fighting on in near Bago and Ayawari region as well. And so Rakhine, I think, seriously losing, dying a lot, but they can refrain with all this forced conscription. So there is a 3 key analysis. How come military can continue this military operation? One is about this conscription, like I said, they within 1 year, 22, they forcibly recruit 110,000 people. Second, they now actively using drone technology that once resisted enjoy. 1027 was successful, and they captured biggest, the army headquarters in Lasho, and 4,000 soldiers surrender because of drone. But now Myanmar army know a lot of drone technology, and Chinese is actively giving these, drone, and Russia, and they got. That's why that is a second. That is the Chinese. Chinese put pressure, especially in the north. When it's come to Kachin, and they put pressure on like other their alliance, Wa, Kogan, not to put any supply, bullets or medical supplies. That these are the, they choke them to force them onto the ceasefire table. So with these given 3, and on the ground, that is correct that they are also, with the new, recently new, there is a new, what is the commander in chief. It is a very puppet. It is very junior. It is a military intelligent, but very loyal to mainline. Within army also a lot of unhappy because he is not senior enough to get, because his new army chief commander, Ye Wen, he want to prove that he is capable of new chief commander. And all these recruit people 100 days of the new so-called civilian government. So these are all, contributing further for intensifying ground and regaining, attacking. At the same time, a lot of resistance are, losing ground, mainly because of lack of supply. People, this is first ever DIY, do it yourself revolution without any big country or any sustainable support. It is the people to people. A lot of people donated 5 years. Already resources are drying out. Of course, and also Zagain is a new stronghold because these are all linked. If one area, like in the north, in the China border, when there is a active military operation, they cannot send their troop to other area. But now Chinese actively, dying out or put in at least, a kind of forced ceasefire or forced agreement, truce in their area. So they're using all their resources in these 3 main areas, Rakhine, and Kachin, and Zagai. So this is a current situation, and most of the territory that they used to be 90 township under resistance control. Probably now, if we recount, maybe if we are lucky, maybe around 17 or so left under resistance control, but still very significant. But the army is, for this specific reason, they are actually advancing. And also rainy season coming. They want to do this before the rainy season, and also the air power. They have an air power and drone technology. I mean, these modern warfare are all about drone. So they are kind of getting ground at the same time. Resistance also, I mean, I have every respect, but they are at least after 5 years, they start with the handmade gun. Now they are like a regular army, and with they always say 3 COC, change of command, code of conduct, and all these things. They are also more organized. But I mean, wow, you need money, you need bullets, you need supply, you need, I mean, people support, all these things, I mean, after 5 years, also getting a bit weaker in terms of supply and ammunition, and also all these Chinese pressure, mainly, access to medication and ammunition, these are the all issue. But only success will be in Rakhine area. Rakhine and Kachin. Kachin is always quiet, but none of the Kachin territory are regained by the army. It is more like recently, like NUG control Sagai, Sagai middle area, Madaya, Mandalay, where the earthquake hits. That area become a big weak, and also in the Karani, our Taimama border, a lot of area being loose back for this particular reason. Also, a lot of problem with these recruit conscription there, because the first batch they were 5,000. We will say that only less than 100 remain. The rest gone. Nobody know. So there is a heavy casualty. Those, I mean, young conscripted people are paying the price, in this conflict. So I hope, I mean, we need to, I mean, we need to find out, these are the ground situation. But still, we are, if people ask me, what is the situation? I will say it is a mutually hardened stalemate. I mean, nobody can overthrow, but they can hurt each other. This is the ground situation. I have to describe that one. That's why it is in the, I think, conflict 10, it is a kind of, I mean, mutually hardened stalemate. It is a stalemate situation on the ground. But I think long run, I doubt that resistance has to be really, really strategic and has to be united. Also, I mean, a lot of alliance like Federal Steering Council and new military alliance, and it is also a lot of preparation from the resistance. But there will be much more pressure from this, army with the drone technology. It is happening. But I don't think within 100 days. I mean, this is the 100 days project or linked to that. And it is too soon, too early to say that they will regain control within 100 days, or legitimacy. I mean, there is so-called engaged without legitimizing Myanmar military by ASEAN. So I don't think it will happen within 100 days. Thank you.
Thank you, and very interesting to listen how everything is linked with each other. Now we go back to the situation of freedom of speech and the banning of social media. Is any change? Now this is a question. Is there any change after the civilian government has taken power? This is one question. Then what is the situation with NUG government?
Okay.
Is there, especially, I mean, with what is happening on the ground, as well as the international community still not really supportive of Myanmar. There are many other issues. So do they feel demotivated? What is happening with them?
Okay. About the freedom of expression, or mainly, I mean, access on digital platform, we did a survey. It's on our website. You can see we did 3 months pre-election, election, post-election. Election was December, January. So we did, 1 month before election, post-election. We basically we are talking about around 2 million independent media pages during the election. They were affected. Before the election, it was like 73% blocked. Unless you use VPN or many different VPN, you can get access. But during election, within 3 months, with the blocking, it's reached to 98%. Mainly to the we monitor 15 independent media houses, and at the same time, some of the like 11 is a compromised media. They are blocking is only 2%. So we make all these, factual because we want a data-driven approve that there is a heavy blocking on independence information flow in Myanmar during the election. So we make that report and relevant. That is, we were doing another 2 more report on the 14 billion data online. So I think my point is they getting more.
Say we is Mizzima or
No, it is an independent press council in Myanmar. We were joined with the Human Rights in Myanmar project. It is funded by UNESCO headquarters too. So we making this kind of digital access because it is everybody is saying that there is a very, scary blogging, and then we want to approve, data driven. First one, 2 million, and then we make the 40 billion data is processing. So we figured it out there. Also, their technology is much more sophisticated, complicated. Like Russia and China, Russia always help them to make a kind of narrative, and the Chinese physically support their infrastructure. Now, things that US side, people cannot access it. Nobody figured out why it's happened. Same to other encrypted platform like American company like, Facebook, Meta, or, Messenger, or Twitter, X. You cannot get access. But where you can get access is TikTok and Telegram. TikTok is Chinese, Telegram is Russia. Their security is very low. People can actually monitor your post, or it is a very weak. So they deliberately pushing user from this, secure platform to non-secure platform. So this is regarding the digital platform and access to information. So I think in the near future they will be using more advanced technology by from the Chinese to block the digital platform. Not only the also actively monitor. There is a PSMS, personal security monitoring system. This is the kind of everybody. It's like a social credit system in China. Everybody will spy on each of you. So all their personal data will be compromised, and there will be more digital dictatorship and digital surveillance, and also especially to the independent media houses. We will have to we will have better. We will have a more challenging, and technology than digital blocks. That is about media friends. About NUG, after 5 years, they also, like I said recently, Nepal, one of their spokesperson saying that they have 304 regiment. A lot of people, one regiment around 250. So they're talking about huge number of PDF. And then people complain, how come you have that many PDF? Why the territory been losing, in Sakai Namagwe? And these are the NUG stronghold. But internationally, that is another worry that stay in UN level, Ujomoton, represented, not the Myanmar army. Resistance stay enjoy UNC. But what if ASEAN change? So that is a kind of a serious issue, diplomatic issues that NUG as a government. This is their strong point, in terms of resistance fighting. I think their armed ethnics are better than NUG because they've been there for a long time, like Karen, Kachin, or Yakai. But in terms of international diplomacy, NUG is much more advanced. Even UNC is their seats. So they need to defend that, consistently. Also, they need to do more. And also, after 5 years, the people crowdfunding is no longer a solution. They need a other bigger solution. People are also very tired. Ordinary people very poor. Even migrant in Thailand, they put their support. They got very little. They are less than minimum wage in Thailand, but they are supporting to the cause. I know a lot of diaspora. Most of the money come from that. Also, most of the funding on ground come from lucrative area like very confusing taxation or trade or some lucrative mine like gold mine. There is a hand patrol mine in Magwe. These are already fallback. Like Mogul. Mogul is a ruby land. Very lucrative. And that's why, I mean, Kachin, Pagan State, there is a lot of J. Kachin is fiercely defending some of the very lucrative area. But the Kachin, they enjoy, they have got money because there is a rare art, they are selling rare art around 1 billion. That's why, and UG compared with other ethnic, they are a bit weak in terms of military operation or in terms of getting resources. But they enjoy the international diplomatic support. I mean, starting from UN or many other ASEAN. Also, they invite. But with these fierce 100 days active engagement army policy, I think they have to work more in this international diplomacy or regional diplomacy. Even, I mean, Thailand start, I mean, how to win a hard and minor Thai, diplomatic community to support on them. They along the Thai Burma border, there are a lot of very strong resistance at the 2,400 kilometers. So my message is they need to work harder because it's become a two competing legitimacy. Before that, it was military government. But now they are claiming civilian government, claiming their legitimacy. So that is a kind of, we always joke, we are very lucky. We have a two president, two government. I mean, one is not enough. But this is the key challenge for NUG that they have to approve. They are also legitimate government. Compare with those, also another Honda, another post-election government claiming for their legitimacy. So that will be one of their key challenges that how do we defend their legitimacy and and also the most importantly, how do they make relevant with the ordinary people? If you are government not relevant with ordinary people on civilian on the ground, I don't think you will be regarded as government anymore. This is my honest response to this question. Actually, I knew you should respond. This is as a journalist or one of the analysis, researcher point of view about NUG. Thank you.
Yeah, this is indeed more about what is the perception now also of people of Myanmar towards NUG, and also there have been issues of corruption. There have been issues that people has felt they have not been fully straightforward. There have been change of certain position. So it's more an update of what is happening with NUG in general, and it's very difficult indeed to do something in these circumstances. But what would be the strategies to get funding? For instance, if crowdfunding is not functioning, what is then the alternative strategy, and how to keep the diplomacy? What is being done? Can you share more on that?
All right. I mean, to be fair, Myanmar people, civilian in general, are very tired of ongoing civil war. But they are alive. At the start, 3 years ago, they really strongly, I mean, giving everything they have. Also, the devastating, there are more than 100,000 homes burned down everywhere. I mean, probably more. 80,000 home alone in Zagai. They all, I mean, completely destroyed. And people are really tired of ongoing this fighting conflict. So they want to be over. And also people, I mean, there's a recent UN report. I was very sorry about the 1 out of 4 people that hunger. I mean, not talking about IDPs. There are more than 3 million IDPs and 65 million people need access to humanitarian aid. So this is a real situation about, I mean, people on the ground, really starving. 1 out of 4 is pretty scary. Young people losing hope. There is a forced conscription and also very restricted not to go leave the country. I mean, there are a lot of young people living wherever they can in Thailand, almost 6 to 7 million. Malaysia, I was in Malaysia, amazing, all the Burmese there, Singapore, everywhere that they could, So this is the general attitudes. And also they don't like stalemate. I mean, but at the same time, they don't like army either. There is no support. They think army destroying their hope and their future and everything. What's doing good to, I mean, overnight, everything destroyed because of army. So it doesn't matter. They change uniform, president. It is not that easy to win hard and minor the ordinary people, but they don't want to see conflict. I mean, prolonged conflict that impact on their daily life. Very understandable. So what is strategy to get out of that, And also at the same time, Myanmar is not only Myanmar issue, there is Chinese actively involved. Russia back in the Myanmar military, and like Myanmar became a Belarus or Asia. I mean, the Chinese Russia also they is important resistant, and also diplomatically ASEAN there are newly engagement that formulated. So gradually they were engaged. Also the strategy of, I mean, engage without legitimacy. The question is whether NUG can block or can they stay relevant. Before 5 years, also Myanmar Constitution once in 5 years. I asked the same question to CRPH. CRPH is Committee representing the people, Parliament, elected people. Their mandate is 5 years because of our experience, 1990 election, right? So 2020, 2000 election, 2025, 5 years, are you still legitimate MPs? So this is the key question. So their response was that until they legally convince their parliament, they are still legal. This is their official defense about their legitimacy, but I doubt it. But now I'm saying that we are elected too. Sham election, whatever. That is another 5 years. Like it or not, it is an election. So this is one of the key challenge for NUG, CRPH, and other, I mean, but very little impact on the ethnic groups. They have their own legitimacy. So there is a legitimacy challenge because the NUG found out of 2000 election result that they were people represented elected. But after 5 years, the question mark, are they stay representing their constituency, or are they stay elected? Can we regard them as elected MPs or the legitimate government? This is the current challenge. How do they defend? They need to defend more. Also, the support. Recently, also, I mean, I forgot to mention, there is $1 billion before the military coups. Aung San Suu Kyi very cleverly put deposit $, 1 billion. That is a lot of money in US. So then now NUG latest attempt is trying to get access to those money for the humanitarian ground. If they got, I think maybe that's maybe a lot of game changer. There are a lot of NUG administrated territorial area, and there is a healthcare system, school system. The problem is delivery bombing on hospital, bombing on schools to paralyze government functioning. That is also another. There is no anti-aircraft gun in the NUG resistance. So the air is, they're all about Myanmar army. There's more advanced. Also, the delivery bombing to disturb their a kind of normal administration. So there is a normal taxation. I mean, the public service like healthcare, education by NUG in many areas. The money resistance also they provide that kind of service. Even in Karenni, once a week there is a municipal rubbish collection with the guns, armed guards. They try their best because I mean you have to address this kind of rubbish in your control area. That is a big problem in Arakan too. How are you going to address this one? They will say we have a lot of other priority, but you need to do those kind of basic service for the people live in your control area. If you cannot provide this basic need, so I think then they will be no longer relevant as a government or no longer relevant as a local administrative. So there are a lot of there is a Zagai Magui Mandalay federal unit. Now they have their own federal government too. So they provide their school. And so they need better long-term administrative capacity, not only military, winning army as a priority. That is also one of our media as a press council. We engage with them. What about press freedom in your control area? If you are the same as, I mean, we are not, as a journalist community, we have no surprise. We don't get access and Myanmar military. But if we don't get access and you are resistant government, what is the difference, So we are also fighting a lot. Very, very fighting hard to allow two issues, safety of journalists and access to information. Don't hide information and your control area. Reveal it. Also, don't get angry when we do corruption expose. So I think, we are very busy trying to get that asset. Also, we have a lot of MOU. Like press council, we have MOU with NUG, NUCC. We have MOU with KNU, IEC, you name it, some ethnic groups like Chin Brotherhood in India border. We have a TNLA. if there is a court case, we are working on it, but still need a bit more visible that, there is a competent administration happening. How can you serve your people in your control area, addressing this very local, not only military winning territorial control, but also how do you actually provide people needs like healthcare, education, and also some relief effort. There is because in part of the shortage of petroleum in the resistance control area also really huge. Not only in a big city, it is a lot of impact going on. So there are, like, you have a lot of complex issue. Also, there is a long-term testing ground for New Zealand, other various resistant administration like IEC, KNU, about their, how can you address these challenges? Are you really fulfilling your people in your control? Otherwise, they will be in a big trouble. But I think after 5 years, they try their best with their, there is a lot of underground hospital that we know, a lot of ongoing, change of education, primary to, I think, high school level. Even currently, there is a nursing school, university popping up. They try very hard, but they need to do more to make relevant. So this is my honest answer about ongoing these two competing administration system as well. So
I think
thank
it's
you.
a very important issue to ensure these new governance mechanisms are democratic, remain. Otherwise, indeed, it's a duplication of the dictatorship model all over the country. So let's hope indeed that media freedom and freedom of speech are also key principles of all these new governments. And two more questions very quick from the public, and then we conclude. So one is about the Rohingya. What is your estimation? We know there is a lot of trouble also with the new government in Bangladesh, which is not necessarily sympathetic. Maybe you know more about the situation of the Rohingya. The last one about the scam center. So this is another question that there is a lot of talk, but what is the recent update?
Okay, I will be very quick.
The point, yeah.
Rohingya, there is a HRW, Human Rights Watch, recently released that a commit, genocide or 600. A response, these are the fallen soldier, Copcas, not Rohingya. So this is the latest case. And then, as we all know, Bangladesh has a new administration. What is the interim government is no longer. There's an election and there is government. So they are main issue about Rohingya returning. It's been a while since 2007. 2 million people, 1 million at least, So this is another challenge for A. What A liberated the entire Rakhine, only 3 left. Then how are they going to reintegrate? Like Budida Mondo, close to Bangladesh border, they are majority Muslim and Rohingya, not Rakhine. So I think they need to, this question will always remain. Maybe also they have to recognize not only administration, at least their own kind of administrative plus, some security forces like border guard or Rohingya, reintegration process with their capacity. Otherwise, it will be always remain. Doesn't matter. It is AA or Myanmar Army, the same thing, same consequences to Rohingya. Rohingya issue will be always one of the international issue and one of the AA challenge. I think with the Chinese pressure at some point, they will go ceasefire or some kind of truce. Then the question about Rohingya, who will be the responsibility? It is the Myanmar Army or is it the with the territorial control? And also the normalizing trade with Bangladesh. Bangladesh, I think we know that there is a reopening of trading activities. Also, there is a India border, India trade. There is a Kalana border trade also resume. So this is a trade and also Rohingya issues. 2 issues that how do they solve? That is one of the biggest challenge. We're trying to make a more accountable in their control area. 14 township is huge. But in terms of media access, very, very limited and very difficult. It will be not the press council signing partner. The rest are our signing partner. So I think this Rohingya issue will remain also a constant challenge for a authority about how do they handle about repatriation, reintegration. So that is an issue will remain. Scam center, it's like cat and mouse. once there is a big hotspot, there is a FBI. I don't know why American border coming to the Time Burma border. There is a FBI and on ground, and then they move to another area from the Chicago. Now they spread it everywhere. And also recent Cambodia, Collins, Cambodia, they were very angry about it. Cambodia, this Cambodia, and it is a New York Times or Financial Times. They wrote about it. They objected. So it is a kind of they can easily relocate. That's the problem. And then with the conflict, torn place like Myanmar or very territorial, authoritarian region like Cambodia, they are safe haven. And corruption, once you bribe, you got protection, you got access to electricity and internet, then business as usual. So I think I will have to conclude a lot of crackdown in a very notorious area like Chicago or Myawaddy along that area. They all gone. If you drive around, I was there recently, very coastal. All these, farmlands, big sky building are empty. Only rubbish and, very scary. Nothing, nobody's. But where do they go? Now they go to Three Pagoda area and they go a bit more inside. And they even move to Sri Lanka, the syndicates. And so because I mean it is not only Myanmar, Cambodia also there is relocation. So that I mean we need to address the root cause, about these scams and the American interest. It is a all American being targeted scam center from in Myanmar or Bangladesh. That is their target. Chinese, a lot of 14 billion a year, almost 1 billion a year. Those steal money from Chinese. They were very angry. Mainly Chinese are losing money. And then those Myanmar or DKBA who hosting that, they said, it is not our money. It is somebody else's money. So we got money out of protection. This is the real happening on the ground. So the problem is like one area they address and then they relocate. Then
So why is China losing money?
because of the original scam is targeting the Chinese population.
So the people lose money, but
people, not the government. So
Chinese
40 billion a year. Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean, are there Chinese interest in running the scam center, right? I mean,
they are the Chinese running to the targeting the Chinese population, American too. So that is their main concern. That's why Chinese very angry because it is the Chinese people hardened 40 billion a year. I mean, that is a known record amount, more than 1 billion a year. It's a lot of money a month. It's a lot of money losing. So they are seriously crack. That's why that is also they teach in Myanmar army. Chinese told them to crack down. That was the original, before falling on the center. But Myanmar army denied that. Then Chinese allow resistance to take over Lashio and other. So that issue will always remain, and it is a kind of international crime or cross-border crime, and that will remain. And with this, the root cause is the government. Now this Myanmar government saying they are thinking about new law can sentence death penalty for the scammer. But it is from the top, if you look at all the Myanmar interior minister, they all got arrested because the Chinese told them that they link with the scam center. These are the root cause is corruption. And from the top, Thailand also have got a lot of problems. From the top, they involved in this kind of, this kind of syndicate business. And that is very hard to crack down. So I think, hotspot are now moving around. I just drive, I deliberately want to know what is going on Chicago. I was there recently, then they all affected me now, but they are relocating to other, even deeper into the Yangon and other, big cities. So I think, this issue will remain unless there is a regional and international collaboration, and also those who involve from the top. These are the problem. Who is actually benefiting out of this, Not or some are volunteers, some are really forced. Now it's complicated. Those scam fitter, now they're using the rare earth mining. That is the latest report from Myanmar. Another victim, they are recycling those scammer, shut down. Then they force them, they send to the Chinese run or war run rare earth. That was a one survivor account very recently in the media. So this is we need to be serious. America has another, what is a task force, but on ground, I doubt it, very cynical. They are only cosmetic, we are doing something and they are not really addressing and not really doing what they should do. I think unless it is community level, and also the stability of the country, though, they are, I mean, corruption. Otherwise, this issue will remain the same. They will keep relocating. If one place pushing down, they will move to another one. I mean, I don't like calling.
There are reports in Laos recent, and Indonesia even found some scam centers. So I think they are expanding all over, as you say, moving all over the region. So thank you very much for this interesting. We will see you next month again for another update. And I want to conclude with the announcement of the mural. So I was telling you before the update, and I like to tell to the public, Junction has been working at the mural, a little bit crazy idea, but now it's very impressive. It's a 10-meter long and 12-meter wide wall in the middle of Bangkok, and this is the invitation for the launch on the 23rd of, so this Saturday at 5 o'clock. Please come. It's in Tonglo, so at the very center of the beast, so to say. It is between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and the place is between Tonglo, Soi 9 and Soi 10. So we hope to celebrate. It is done by Myanmar artists, and it's really about the presence and the contribution of migrants to Thai society, culture, as well as economy. And the title say it all: Together We Build. I mean, if there was no migrant progress and economic profit, etc., would not be possible. So we want to stress the importance of working together. A very positive message, and as you will see if you come to Bangkok, it's very colorful also. So with this message, and I hope to see some of you at Saturday, I also thank those a lot, and thank again Mizzima as well as The Irrawaddy for cross-broadcasting our update. We will continue next month. Thank you very much. And
Thanks, Leah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.